How you guys doing? Esto es Una Plática. Everybody says that I was born an artist. It was really, I was starting to kind of question that, and I asked people about my birth. They said that it was really a miraculous thing, how I was born. And one of the things that was really amazing is when they pull out the placenta and the umbilical cord was stuck to me. The doctor then turned around and says, Robert, excuse me, not Robert, says, Senora, I'll be back in a minute, I gotta go to the bathroom, the placenta will process a little bit. And all of a sudden, the nurse turns around and says, doctor, come back. He goes, what? He goes, I think he's going to be an artist. That's an easel coming out. And the truth of the matter is, you have to understand that, that's a joke, obviously. A lot of people basically say that I was born to be an artist and I have talent, and I don't think that's necessarily true. For me, it was the only thing that gave me joy in life. And the thing is that I had dyslexia, so I couldn't really read well. I came from the projects, which was chaotic. But the thing is, when I would draw, and people would sit there and would value me that it was something different. Like, you can do this, and they would reinforce that I was viable, that I had value. And so I did that I did that when I was a little kid, and I enjoyed that. I lived in the project, so being on the streets wasn't necessarily safe. There's a lot of things that I saw living in El Paso in the project. So that was the joy of being an artist was, well, of creating. That was the first thing. So if that was the indication of why I wanted to be an artist, there's a lot of reasons why I got to that point, but I think that's one of them. If you ask me if I'm a Chicano artist, I literally, when I was reading that question, I literally says, what does a Chicano mean? Mexican American. I started thinking of Cheech and Chong. Mexican American. You know, I think that came out in the 80s or 90s when Cheech and Chong was doing that. And I consider myself a Mexican, and I consider myself an American. I also consider myself a purgatory person, like I'm in the middle of two. And obviously you can literally tell that because of my last name, Robert Wilkens, and yo hablo español. So, and I spent time in Mexico, and my family is from Mexico, so it was like, but the last name is really a conundrum. My last name was actually, my mom and my dad loved each other and hated each other. They got married really young. And my mother, despite my real father, changed my name to an Anglo who she hooked up with, despite him, and they gave me, I was 11 years old, so I didn't know any better. Anyways, but I lived in the projects for many years, and the thing about it is, we're in El Paso, in the projects, like, we're like La Raza, I didn't understand. Here, it's funny, in San Antonio, there's more of a Chicano movement. When I came and moved to San Antonio, I saw a Chicano thing, and I always thought I was part of this group, but because of the last name, they started to ostracize me from the white people, and it's okay. They didn't. I have a lot of friends that are artists here now, but it was funny, and it was funny because in reference to being a Chicano artist. I literally changed Chicano into purgatory artist, but it's still a Chicano artist. But the most amazing thing was that Centro Aztlan was one of the first gallery showings that I've ever had that literally invited me to be here. And that's when they used to be at the Palmas Malls place, and it was Cultural that invited me. And that's one of the reasons, what is it, like 30 years later, I'm still part of this group. I think Cultural Aztlan has done a lot, okay? And I think it's very, very important what they're doing. It gives It gives the people a place where they can show their artwork. It motivates them. Okay. If you look at this painting over here behind me, there's light bulbs. If you ever read the story or the biography of Edison, you find out that the guy failed almost 10,000 times to trying to design the light bulb. The story goes like this, and is it true, is it accurate? I think it's somewhat accurate. A friend of his says, "Give it up, Edison. You've already failed 9,000 times." The response of Edison is, "I know 9,000 ways not to fail." Well, advice is this: face your fears. Okay? Here's the thing: if you fail, you're in great company. You're in great company with Michelangelo. You're in great company with Vincent van Gogh. You're in great company with Edison. You're in great company with a lot of people that never quit. It's much easier for us to quit. Okay? It's safer not knowing. You're a coward then. Because if you're capable of doing and you choose not to, you are going to live a miserable life. I see this time and time again. I wished I could have, if I'd done. Well, here's the thing. You got one life. Enjoy it, even at the act of failure. This is basically a grave. If you look at it, everybody's looking down. If I was to ask you a question, the celebration of the Day of the Dead is basically honoring our forefathers. If you really think about it, we Americans, are we Indian? Are we white? Where the hell do we come from? Texas is my country. Texas is my state. The thing is, what is Texas? Well, it's Indians, Comanches, Apaches, whole load of Indians that we've actually removed their quality of life, their living, not quality of life, but their life. We've removed them. Then we exponentially went to the Mexicans and how they lived. And then we went to the whites, and then we went to the slavery that the United States, that Texas had. And now we're talking about the black fighter pilots that started becoming the civil rights, the 60s. Now we're at present day. And the thing about it, it's all a process. And we have one moment of our existence, one moment. We have to leave an incredible presence. We have to leave something good, because life is really short. We don't remember our forefathers anymore. We don't, hell, most of us drive and will complain that we have to drive somewhere because our asses hurt, okay? And our forefathers did stuff on horse and buggies that would take them years. And we complain about the most nonsensical stuff now. We're truly blessed. We got air conditioner. Our forefathers lived in the heat like this. In the cold. We have more opportunity to do more good than bad. And yet sometimes we do more bad than good.